choosing the right broker.
Okay, we're live. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Hunt live stream. Remember, I'm simply a dude on the internet. I can't give financial advice. You need to do your own due diligence. You click the buy button, you click the sell button. This is just what I do. So I'm going to give people a chance to get in while I cover some of the macro things. We will check out what BTC is doing, what the indices are doing, what the dollar is doing. All of this is kind of important for us, right? As BTC goes up, our ecosystem goes up. When the S&P and all indices are at all-time highs, more risk can flow to our assets. The screen is probably a bit too big. Let me just make it a little bit smaller. Hopefully that won't cut anything off. Either way, I'll look at it every now and then. So BTC over here, we've recently had a 21% pullback. Most were expecting at least a pullback all the way to this 30K area. I would be thoroughly impressed if the 21% retracement is all that we're going to be getting. In fact, I actually won't be surprised because so many people have been left behind, not only in crypto, but in the macro scheme of things. People have totally missed out on this run in the last year. Many people were calling for a recession, depression, etc., stock market crash, real estate crash, and many people are still sitting on the sideline. There's a lot of money on the sideline. Either way, we will cover some of that. Let's start with the S&P. This is at all-time highs. This is the daily. The green horizontal ray is the all-time highs. We're in all-time highs, right? This is not the time to be calling for recession. That is like calling for a recession down here when we're breaking out on all-time highs, right? This is more likely what you would be calling for if you were a rational being. Nikki B, thanks for the super chat. Hey Hansi, are paper and PWC still in the reload zones? Yeah, we'll actually look it out because I was actually buying one of those coins that you suggested, and we will do that as soon as I'm finished with this. I won't take too long, I'm just giving people a chance to get in. So yeah, all-time highs, this is good for us as risk needs to start flowing to other places because they've missed out here, right? Dollar, remember when dollar is strong? Everything else kind of struggles. This is quite bullish here. Maybe we should see a little bit more upside here as the indicators were pretty low down here, right? So there's definitely a little bit more upside here, hopefully. And it looks like not only the macro market is kind of shrugging it off here. BTC itself is showing a lot of strength, even though the dollar is going higher. But if they start rolling over, it would just be tailwinds for us to go even a little bit higher. Okay, so BTC, this is the weekly, still kind of like very frothy here, very dangerous up here for taking longs. Either way, this is a bull flag that has formed on the charts here. You can see the flagpole, the flag, and the flagpole target is from the bottom all the way to the top there. That is your target at 47,860. There's the super chat coming through now. We'll take a look at those coins for you, Nikki. And this is pretty much takes us all the way to the all-time highs, just below the all-time highs. This will drag PulseChain along, and we can see some of the bids coming through, even though we are up 2 nice breakout green candles, and we can already see it flowing, or some of the confidence flowing or showing in the PulseChain charts. Total market cap, smaller retracement even than BTC recently did. It only did 19%. Either way, these are your breakout levels. Still be healthy if we come down and retest these levels. Okay, let's get into the PulseChain charts. Those other things are quite boring. And I'm gonna cover Nikki B's questions first, so don't forget about them. Let's look at PayPay. I should actually capture my whole screen and show what I posted about this chart on my Telegram. Right. So yeah, to answer your question, is this still in the reload zone? So we measure from the bottom to the top of our most recent run. So we don't have a low to measure off this area here. So we just disregard that price movement. So from the lows here all the way to the highs, this gives us our range, right? So we can pull up our fib tool, and this is your reload zone here, right? Between the 61.8 and the 78.6 level, and we can see we're well below that. So we've got location on this. We are inside the reload zone. So that is the first rule for the granny. Then we need to see some indicator confirmation. So price action going lower, and we do have that here. You can see price action is lower, yet our momentum on our indicator is going higher. This is called bullish divergence. This is indicator confirmation. So 2 of our rules have been fulfilled, right? We've got location because we are not only inside the reload zone, we're well below it. We have bullish divergences down here. So the market momentum is showing strength here while price action is going lower. And then the last rule that we need to follow is market structure, right? That is a W on the chart. And the W is confirmed once we set a higher high. And you can see the horizontal ray here is trying to show you that, because that is, you had a high here, then you had a higher high here, and now we've got another higher high, right? So this W has been confirmed. You can see the W there. And it has in fact broken out. Now it needs to close at this daily candle here. And remember, this is versus PLS, the ratio versus PLS, because these altcoins, your altcoins need to be outperforming PLS. Otherwise, you could have just held PLS, right? So yeah, this bullish divergence has now been confirmed. The breakout is in progress. It just needs to close this candle here. So yeah, I think I did. I bought some earlier today. Yeah, I did. So yeah, so I've got an entry in PayPay here. It looks like it is breaking out. And I mean, just zoom out on this chart. It's incredibly cheap, right? It's not like OA or Axis, and no hate to those coins. I just like cheap things, right? Things that are literally at their floors. And PayPay is that here. It could still go lower. But this is, it's fulfilled all of my trading rules, and I can go long here. And I've gotten some. And then I just have to manage my risk, right? And you can learn all of that in my ebook. You can get it on my link tree on my Twitter. Or, I mean, you can probably join Patreon. And some of those lessons on the private meetings are up already, so you can learn the risk management there. So yeah, do check out those links in the description if you're interested in that. So this is PayPay. Let's look at Wrapped BTC. swap to wrapped pulse. I was talking about this, right, literally at the lows here, when people were quite panicky about this because Richard Hart came out and said that this had admin keys, right, and it kind of spooked the market. But like I knew that because you get REN BTC, you get WBTC. These are not real BTCs, right? This is custodial BTC. So there is a third party there involved, not only in REN BTC, but WBTC that custodies the Bitcoin that is held on the Ethereum exchange. So, yeah, not to get into the weeds or the fundamentals, as they really don't matter. The only thing that matters are cheap prices. So, I mean, incredibly cheap here. We're in the reload zone, right? So we are in value. The RSI got like really, really nice and low. No bullish divergences really to speak of. You should have been getting it down here. It's still cheap here, and you can see the W's that it's forming on the chart here, all of these higher lows. This accumulation that's happening here. It's probably not even going to come back to these levels here. Plus Production wants me to take a look at ink. I will take a look at ink for you. So yeah, very cheap here. I don't know if it wants to go a little bit lower. There's no indicator confirmation. As soon as this candle closes above this 887,000 wrapped BTC, wrapped Ethereum, excuse me, wrapped pulse per Ethereum. I'm trying to say the ratio. But either way, it's this area here. A candle needs to close above there for it to break out. Can't fault the granny if she wanted to get a little bit here. It's still cheap. Cheaper than most altcoins. I would have loved to have gotten it here. I've got some wrapped BTC from trading it all the way up here, buying and selling. I mean, I've been trading it to this whole range. Otherwise, so I do have some of this, and I'm planning to sell more into the future. Okay, so let's check out the PulseChain coins, the main ecosystem coins, seeing as we've answered Nikki B's questions. So PulseChain here, pretty much a battle between the bulls and the bears. You've got an M on the chart here, right? Market smiling at you, but not confirmed yet. In fact, I can't even say it's an M because unless price action closes above that, only then will it be confirmed. That's the bears. The bulls have a W on the chart, right? And it won't be confirmed once again unless we close candles above this 1,387. So it would look something like this. Breakout, retest, go ahead. The retest is not guaranteed. It might just do something like that and not even give you the retest. So yeah, this is our range that we are in. So it's quite boring. But you have clear targets to look out for, right? Close a candle above, we go higher. Close a candle below, we go lower. Very, very easy. Value in the shorter term for wrapped pulse is literally at the breakout level. So yeah, for the guys that missed out on this run, this is where you want to get some. No guarantees that we're going to get to that low. Generally, the market doesn't reward bad behavior, so we've had a very long time to accumulate there. Many people didn't want to accumulate here because they were scared of the SEC things, etc. Yeah, so we'll see if the market gives us a chance. And this probably won't happen unless we start seeing BTC like really break down. And it looks like BTC wants to go higher. And this would most likely drag us along higher as well. We can look for major resistance levels on the chart. Let's extend those lines. These are your major resistance levels. Don't be surprised to see that we are rejecting at the 38.2. This is your first target. And I mean, this looks good. It looks like we want to break through here. You can see how beautifully these has acted as resistance. As soon as we start closing candles here above this 38.2, which is 0.001307, if we start closing candles above here, expect movement higher. Then our first major resistance levels are these areas up here, right? That is the reload zone in reverse. And can't wait for the rest of the bull market to play out and to see what price action we'll be seeing in the future. So yeah, exciting times. PulseX up 16% on the day. This is the weekly candles. This looks good. Like we're eating this candle. We're consuming it. Like wicks and tails like to be eaten. That wick is starting to be consumed. For a wick to be eaten, you want the price action to stay above the candle close. You can see the candle close there, the level there, and we fought with it a few candles, 3 weeks already, and now we're trading above it. It's very positive. Let's look at the ratio. Now this has surprised me significantly. This is the ratio between PLS and PLSX. So this is the ratio between PLSX and PLS. I should say it the right way around. Massive W, right, on the chart. And perfect market structure because you can see these lows were defended. So these are higher lows. This is the perfect W. Not only can you see it on the daily, you can see it on the 3-day. Large W there. And it's even on the weekly, hey? Massive W on the weekly chart. And this will also be on the monthly. Right? You can put on the line chart and you can see the clear W there. As clear as day. So better than that you can't have. And this is why it's overperforming PLS like that. Because it's built this perfect market structure. Not only does it have this massive W, it has all of these small W's inside of larger W's. So more perfect than this it cannot get, and that is how we were able to call these lows. So what clear image do you guys see on this chart here now? What clear symbol, letter do you see on the chart here, right? That is a W, right? And remember, for a W to be confirmed, it needs to close a candle above its breakout level. And we're trying to do that now. Now remember, this is the ratio, so it looks like it wants to go even higher. Not only that, it is inside the short location. This is where the shorters will take positions, right? They will enter their short position there. That is the long position, the opposite of what we're looking for. And they will risk it all the way to the 78.6 level. And a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So that's where what their trade would look like. They're kind of panicking here now because it looks like it wants to stop them out, right? And that is fine. This is how trading works. They're willing to, so the risk, they're going to lose 10% in this trade if they've taken it. So they will only use half of their trading portfolio to get their risk of a loss to 5%. And yeah, that's how risk management works. That is a trader's life. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you should stay away from trading as far as you possibly can. Buy spot and hodl until the end, where you perceive the end of the bull market to be. P. Byrne, thanks for the super chat. Greetings from 9-inch. Coin up tokens right now are Almighty. Thanks for the super chat. Greetings from the 9-inch Coin Hub. Hot tokens right now are code, SAC, and DCT. Okay, cool. Let's take a look at that. Okay, yeah, I think we've said enough here. If this breaks out right, I mean, this is great, right? For me, I have the PLS farm since the start. I've been compounding my gains back into it. Right, that was my plan from the beginning. I sometimes get hate for selling incentive token, but guys, you need to remember that I have to continue doing this, right? Because that was the plan from the start. That is a specific liquidity providing tactic, right? Or tactic's not the right word. Either way, I have to continue doing that, right? It's just the way it is. So don't hate me for incentive token. I'll buy incentive token when in my trading portfolio when I see an opportunity, right? Okay, because I know some of you really like incentive token, and that's fine. Okay, so with that being said, let's look at incentive token because there was a super chat for that. Pretty much looks the same. We're far away from breaking down, right? That's your breakdown level. This is your breakout level. You can see the W on the chart here. Just remove this. So this is your bullish structure here. As soon as you start closing candle, expect a retest and off you go. So if you want to go higher, you need to close above this $3.15 area. Let's look at it versus Rapid Pulse. So yeah, also outperforming PLS here, much like PLSX. There's your breakout level. And we've rejected from it once. That we actually peaked our head above. So that's quite positive. You can see your market structure here, your W on the chart. Yeah, once again, you need to close above this 24,130 PLS per incentive token. If you were a buyer and you wanted to get some, this is not the area to be getting it. You should be waiting for these areas down here. And as a trader or a granny style of investor, I would be getting some here. It's not really trading as I'm sitting on this position for a very long time. Yeah, so incentive token looks positive here. It's still outperforming PLS. And I mean, you've started to have this rounding bottom, right? And that's good. If we zoom out, over time, it's going to look like that, right? So this is positive. It looks like it wants to continue outperforming PLS here. If it's going to make new all-time highs here, it's most likely going to start forming some bearish divergences as price action is going higher. So just be aware of that. Okay, so I'm going to try and get through the super chats. Then I'm going to go through all of your guys' chats. And then we'll go through everything on Twitter and everything on this chat as quickly as humanly possible. If you're scared that I'm going to miss your coin, drop a super chat. It doesn't have to be something ridiculous just to get my attention. And P-Burn, what's up from the 9-inch crew? Hot tokens right now are code. Let's look at them. Equals 3. So this is 4 months old. It's most likely not that one. The Nuremberg code. It's probably this one, as this is like a few days old. Look at it versus Rapid Pulse. Interesting to know what the story is here, right? So this is good to see. You're bringing these coins to us when they're cheap and not when they've kind of left the station. So yeah, it is inside the reload zone. This is the 4-hourly chart, so remember that. This is good structure though, right? As you've got higher lows here on the chart. W's on the chart. I like this. When the stream is done, I might just throw a few dollars in this because it's new. It's inside the reload zone. It's done its initial run. It's down here. So hopefully this is the right one that you want me to take a look at. So I'm going to add this to my watch list to get some after this. Please don't front run me, people. Let's look at SAC. 6 days old. Not SAC. 6K liquidity. Yeah, same story here. You've got nice higher lows. You're not buying the low. This is inside the reload zone. Let's look at it versus Rapid Pulse. It's going to look even better here. Yeah, from the highs to the lows, you're inside the reload zone. You've got a nice W here, a small little W. Not only that, you've got a larger one here. Hasn't broken out yet. It's still inside the reload zone. I'm going to throw a little bit at all of this. I'm not missing new coins anymore. And then DCT. Let me know if I'm looking at the right coins for you. Drunk crypto trading. 3.5k liquidity. I'm going to scroll down right after this analysis to see if I looked at the right coins for you. DCT formed a beautiful bottom down here. You can see how it flattened. Has now already taken off, kind of taken off. So this is where I would be interested. This is the only one that I would need to wait for a little bit to get down. It's still, if the granny just wanted to buy like a little bit of it and just forget about it, you're still cheap, right? But if you really wanted these cheap prices, but be aware you might not get to this, right? Down here. That's DCT. All correct. Okay, cool. Almighty Hexagon. METH Lab earns P with is PLS of arbitrage bots trading, the extensive liquidity pair network. No need for new buyers. The math works itself. Hopefully this has a chart. METH Lab earns. Oh, here we go. 72, 1k. So 72k liquidity. That's quite a lot, which is impressive. Let me know if this is the right chart, Almighty. I'm going to scroll down after this analysis to just check that it is all right. It trades against MDAI, which I'm not quite aware. It looks like something else. Either way, we'll have to do analysis on the USD pairing. It's a few days old. Is this the only pair? Let's see if this is the only pair that is trading here. I have missed so many really, really good calls from the Almighty Hexagon. Like, this guy finds stuff. It just performs well. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find a pair that has a bit more history. Here we go. Yeah, so I wish I knew about this earlier. Okay, so let's look at it versus Rapid Pulse. Thanks for the super chat, guys. I appreciate it. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to add this to the watch list. Beautiful rounding bottom, eh? But unfortunately, it has now popped off. We need to wait for it to get down to these areas. And this is a topping structure here. It just needs to close candles below these levels. And that would be positive, right? This will get give us a chance to get in here. For new guys to get in, for guys that was early to take their profits. And you can see where most of the volume was traded. So you can probably ignore the 61.8, but there's lots of volume that was traded. We're probably just going to have to catch that falling knife at the 61.8. So we're able to get some at these areas. Follow Almighty Hexagon on Twitter. He shares a lot of good coins to get in early. And he's often right. There's a bunch of pairs. The main pair should be B2B. Let's see. Hopefully that was the right one, dude. Because let me know. I'll keep an eye on the chat. So I hope I've covered all the super chats. Twitter link, please. Let's look at... Yeah, I'm not going to be able to find his Twitter handle right now. Either way. There's a lot of requests on Twitter. Yeah, no, I can't find it as well. If anybody else finds it, you can post it on for us, please. Maybe he can post it himself. I don't think. Okay, yeah. Thanks for this, Beaver. I will join this Telegram channel. Thanks for that. Let's check that out. You're good, bro. That was the right one. There's an entire ecosystem from Ethereum tokens that are all rewards tokens connected to this meth lab. Okay. We are not going to sleep on this. We're going to keep an eye on that. And as soon as that thing comes down to my buy area, I'm going to get some. Okay, where should we start with these altcoins? Should we go through Twitter first, or should we go through... I think we go through the YouTubers first this time. Can I look at Flight? I'm going to go through these quickly, right, so we can get everybody a chance. So Flight, 2 days old, 5k liquidity. Let's look at it versus Rack Pulse. A little bit over valued here. From the lows to the highs, it gave you a chance right here to get in. Right, let me mark that for you. It gave you a chance right here to get in, and it's already left. So that's Flight, looks good. New 5k liquidity. What's the market cap? So you wanted the market cap to be like 10% of that. That's a little bit less. It's like 8% of the market cap in liquidity. Not bad. Looks good. They've got their icon. See if you can get cheap prices on this, and I wish you the best of luck. What's up, Mr. Football? Hit the like and subscribe button. Appreciate it. HOA. PDI. Platus. Okay. We'll look at HOA. So, what can you say? I've got some of this. Generally, I sell halves on doubles on the way up. For some reason, I got HOA. I probably wanted to add liquidity with it, with Keck or Gran, but I rediscovered that liquidity pool a few days ago, and it was up a lot. And I'm just sitting on it. Like, I think it's like worth like $400 or something, and I'm just sitting on it just for the meme, right? And I mean, I can't. The granny has rules, right? As she can't chase this here. So if something is not in the reload zone, she has to look away, unfortunately. It doesn't mean you can't make money, right? But the granny style of investing is a certain style, and she has her rules. And if one of her rules aren't valid, or then yeah, she can't even look at this chart, right? So yeah, this is, if it ever does a retracement, this is where she has to wait for it, right? It can go higher, but she will just readjust her fib tool higher, wherever it tops out. We can look for divergences to see if this might be slowing down anytime soon. And the indicators are very high. We can see that price action is higher. And let's use the line chart. There's no difference between what the line chart is telling us and what the candlesticks are telling us, right? So price action is higher, yet our indicators are still lower. If this chart wants to invalidate this bearish divergences that is here, as price action is going higher, the momentum is down, it would need to go much higher here. So it can push the RSI above these previous highs to invalidate that bearish divergences. So there are some warning signs on the chart, but this has just been performing like really, really well. And yeah. So there's the bearish divergences even on the candlestick chart. So yeah, it's definitely no area to be going long here. Maybe you know a short-term trade that will give you profits there. I don't do short-term trading. I get in positions and I sit on them until it at least gives me a double. So yeah, that is HOA. Very, very high. Definitely not cheap prices. I might be wrong. It might just never have a pullback. I don't know. But I've never seen a chart that never does a pullback. So this is a parabola, right? Without changing the curve at all, this is what a parabola looks like, right? So you're going to have to wait for it to fall out of its parabola. But there are still coins that are cheap, right? They are out there. And I literally talked about internet money and time before what's his name? Before Richard Hart tweeted about it today. And it has popped off now. But when Richard Hart talks about the coin, it does this pop off and then retracement. It does its retracement. HOA, DAI. I mean, I've called the DAI run at these lows. If you guys have been watching this channel closely. Technically, still in the reload zone. Right, to the overall reload zone. Remember, we look at these versus PLS. This is where value is at. We're still inside of it, but if you're going to buy it here, just be wary that this might just roll over in your face, right? But this is technically still in value for, and I can't fault the granny if she wanted to get some here, right? There's going to be a time when I'm going to have to tell you that it has left the station, right? And just to let you know that I literally accumulated this in this area down here, right? I'm slowly taking some profits here, not a lot, just of these positions that I got down here. So you are kind of late, but there's still way more room to the upside. I mean, this isn't even at the all-time highs. If we compare this to something like HOA, that's just setting all-time new highs. This is not. This is still relatively cheap compared to maybe Axis or HOA. Once again, it's no flack or hate on any one of those coins. I'm simply just looking at the chart and looking for cheap prices. So yeah, HOA here. If you wanted to wait for a retracement for a cheap price, hope and pray for these areas here. Don't know if you're gonna get them, because this can easily just break out here and head higher. I'm here for the tech. P link. We'll take a quick look. We'll take a quick look at link. 62k liquidity, impressive. Pretty much at the lows, right? Isn't the prettiest chart? You've got bullish divergences, prices going lower. Indicator going higher, so that's positive. You've got location, you've got indicator confirmation. You've already broken out of this cute little W down here. And this is a larger one forming on the chart, trying to break out here. I mean, this is cheap, right? Incredibly cheap. No one's probably interested in it here. Good liquidity. It's quite a large market cap at 32 million. I mean, I can't fault the granny if she wanted to get some here. She'll just sit on this position until it gives her a double against PLS. Friendship. Somi fan token. 11k liquidity, 45k market cap. Let's look at it versus Rapid Pulse. This is going to be interesting. Just above the reload zone, right? This is the 4-hourly chart. You've got a little bit of a W. Now, you're not going to have indicator confirmation or the RSI telling you anything interesting. You're just gambling it here, right? So that is where you're managing your risk, right? You're not throwing your whole trading portfolio in something like this, like literally a few dollars, like lunch money, maybe $10 or $20, right? And if that's a lot of money to you, you need to reduce that risk to even maybe $5 or $4, right? Yeah, I can't fault the granny for getting some here. I don't know how well it's going to do. There's new coins launched every day, right? So yeah, be careful out there. Access, I can already tell you guys that this is something that's expensive. Just a quick observation, bearish divergences on the RSI versus USD. As you can see, indicators going lower, right, on the price action, but we don't really look at USD values on this channel. We're more interested in these charts here. I can see bearish divergences here. Okay, so it wasn't higher. So you can see this price action is still lower, but this is still fine. It's not, it's very close to forming, but obviously not confirming. It's still a long ways away before this prints anything bearish. Pretty much you're high on the RSI, you're in the nosebleed section. Nothing has changed, the range hasn't changed. This is where value is at in the green box for access. It's not up here, right? It can go much higher, right? That's fine. You're not, it's just not cheap here. You need to wait for these prices down below here, right? Doesn't mean it can't go higher, doesn't mean you can't make money on a trade here. Just for the granny, it's a little bit expensive. The RSI is high. It's flirting with bearish divergences all over the chart. Yeah, but it's performed really, really well. Yeah, I mean, look at that, right? PZen. Thanks for the kind comments the other day. So I still have PZen here. I actually told my Telegram guys that this is actually not a bad buy here, because it's come down all the way. It's come down beautifully, right? I think I told you guys. I had more drawings on this chart here, but it seems like I don't have them anymore. Either way, what I can tell you guys on this chart now, right? This is Conrad Zen's coin. Don't hate it, don't date it, right? Just trade these things. Bullish divergences on the chart here, indicators going higher, or momentum's going higher, indicators going lower. So it has bullish divergences. It's almost confirmed. It is confirmed. Okay, so it's not confirmed. It needs to close. Prints above there. So pretty much it needs to form a W here. It's probably going to create a very flat W. It looks like it's simply just going to break out there. Yeah, so you got indicator confirmation, you've got location, you don't have market structure just yet, but as soon as you have a candle close above there, this chart is pretty much a trade, right? It's pretty much a go there. Yeah, so this looks good, and this is what I wanted to see, and it's now done that. And I saw your comment on X that I was right after all along. And I'm not a soothsayer or a mystic. I can't see the future. It's just simply the charts telling me what's going on, right? Breakout levels like to be retested, and this was your breakout level, and it's now come down to retest these levels, which is healthy. Your indicators have reset. It's good. Caviar. $86K liquidity, 10% up on the day. The USD chart looks nice. Caviar. Okay. It's come down to the reload zone. This is the 4-hourly chart. Let's look at the RSI. Bullish divergences here, as this indicator has never been this low. Although on the daily, the RSI just like tapped 50, so it might need a little bit more time to consolidate here. Either way, it's back in value, right? This is a V bottom, right? It might have a lot more time to go, but generally these coins, when they're so new, they don't really give you a chance, especially in the early days. It just like gets in here, and yeah, so if you really wanted some of this, right, maybe just get a little bit here, right, because it might just leave you behind. And it's a pretty little chart, I must say. You know, I like the accumulation that happened back here. You can see the market structure, the nice higher lows popped off. You've now come down, but it is quite early to say. I would like to know some of the fundamentals about this, if there's what the story is behind this. There's lots of talk about it. I've seen it posted around a few times. Hansi's loading up on Pay. Actually am. I bought Pay this morning. Is Jenkins here? I think Jenkins, I have no idea. The alien coin is the first DAO on PulseChain. PTGC. It's such a hard ticker to say for some reason. So yeah, one of the more vocal coins out there. Vocal community, I should say. Okay, it's not cheap, right? It gave you a chance down here, which you should have taken. You can see it formed its W inside the reload zone. Kind of like a janky one, a little bit high. But when you see this, you should have known that it's going to do an explosive move. No bearish divergences formed just yet. I'm pretty sure it is going to form bearish divergences as it makes a new high. The indicator will still be lower. Yeah, I mean, not in value. This is the nosebleed section. If it was to reverse here, this is where I would get some. Don't know. It looks like it wants to go higher. It's too early to call the top here. There's nothing bearish here at all. Not a bad chart. I wish I had some. I should have been getting some in here, but I was probably waiting for cheaper prices. And that's sometimes the price you pay. Can't catch everything, right? Harry Potter Sonic Inu on PulseChain could be a play. Okay, yeah. So that's the ticker Bitcoin. Let's copy the contract address. Let's quickly look at it on the weekly time frame here. So this is the ETH pairing. Still a little bit early, right? This is a V bottom, and the RSI needs to get a little bit lower. Okay, let's look at it versus on PulseChain. 1K liquidity. Let's see if there's other pairs. So there's a 1K liquidity here and another 400 here. Okay, so Liquidate versus Rapid Pulse. Someone is interested in it here. Let's remove the volume. Let's see if these lows were defended. Yeah, beautifully defended. Oh no, that was a new low here. Huh. This was a new low here. Okay, chart, play along here. Yeah, that was a new low here. So someone quit. Someone quit this coin hard on PulseChain. This is a V bottom, unfortunately. I mean, there's probably a sneaky little W in here. We put on the line chart. I mean, barely, right? I think you have a point here that this could actually be a play, but it's going to either need a pump of this coin on Ethereum, or it's gonna take a video or a tweet from Somi for this to pump, right? This is going to give us a lot more chances in the future at these bottom prices. So you're going to see a lot of these pumps as people take their positions, but it's going to come right back and give you a chance to enter. So yeah, I would just wait for these cheap prices. This 17 Bitcoin per PLS price. And every time it gets in there, I'll throw like $5 in it, etc. Right? It's absolutely down like a lot. Like this is where the granny is looking for these things. Like this is what venture capital is all about. Like getting these things at literally this 4 prices. And it will take literally one tweet or one video or a pump on Ethereum for this to give you a free position and just double your coins like literally in a few minutes. In a few minutes, your PLS position. So yeah, this is what I look for coins that look like this, right? Like there was trading happening up here and it's down like 99% from the highs. Like this is what gets me excited, right? It's 93% from the all-time highs. Yeah, if you're patient, it's going to give you a really good entry in this coin. Can I chart Titan X? I actually have chart Titan X up here. Once again, don't hate it, don't date it, just trade it. So you're at the floor level here. You've got a nice little W here. This is what you want to see. You're starting to see a bottoming structure come in here. So small W here, larger W's. And you've pretty much got a good area to look out for as soon as you start closing candles above these levels. And they're coinciding with these previous resistance levels. Yeah, let's see if you can close candles and then you can go higher there. It looks like it is starting to bottom here. I literally called the bottom on Titan X, but I deleted that tweet because it's getting so much hate. Does Steady have more upside potential? Yes, of course. It definitely does. Teddy Bear. 50% on the day. Nice. USD pairing launching into all-time new highs. What's his name? B-Roots, and then I'm probably streaming here. So this is the weekly chart here. I was literally buying this at the lows here. And telling people. So this is now Let me just make sure. It has now left value. You can see this is trading above the 61.8 versus PLS. This is the last chance to be getting this. This is now left value. And you're above it, slightly above it now, but what is a few beats between friends? I hope you guys can see the massive W on this chart, right? Once it closes a candle above that level, which is pretty close, you can say adios, amigos, because this is going to go. You can say adios. And you can also see the nice little W down here, then the larger one. And then it's going to have this larger one here as well. So this looks good. I mean, the indicators on the weekly, this is already broken out on the weekly, where it hasn't broken out yet on the price action. You can see this has broken out here. You see the W, right? That W has broken out. There's also a small one here that has broken out. Not really oversold on the weekly at all. But the daily, what does the daily tell us? The daily has some bearish divs there. Oh no, never mind, because this is not a new high. Nothing bearish here just yet. On the getting a little bit high here, but these things can get absolutely ridiculous and stay ridiculous for long times. So if you weren't getting this down here, I mean, I can understand why, if you are chasing this up here, why you would be concerned if this should be going higher. But that is why you should have been accumulating this down here. I mean, this tweet isn't pinned anymore. I had this tweet pinned. A beautiful chart, right? Picture perfect. And it really hasn't left the station just yet, right? The departure from the station is that level there. Although you're not getting super cheap prices anymore, like these areas down here, and the chart definitely showed you that it wanted to be bullish, because not only did I get in here, I got a lot of my patrons in here as well, right? So yeah, it looks good. That's beautiful W. I love this chart. It's probably because I have some as well. HSA for this is Almighty's coin. It's performing well on USD. 4K liquidity, 200K market cap, so very low market cap. What's 10% of that? 20. So this is like 5% market cap to liquidity. I should have been getting it up here, right? I don't know if, yes, you can say, no, not really. It looks like it wants to roll over here. Maybe it will give you a chance to get some in the reload zone, and that's where you should have been getting some. Crypto VAG. Hello, Hans. Thank you for your TA. Could you check out VAG, please? VAG Inu. Just scroll to your super chat. Okay, let's take a look at VAG. 5 days old. It's got 3K in liquidity. Let's just see if there are other liquidity pairs. Okay, so that's the only one, which is fine. Market cap. So it's a little bit more than 10% liquidity of the market cap, which is good to see. Straight up, hey? And unfortunately, it's on 9-inch. So if you were interested in getting some here. Yeah, you've performed really, really well. You're up 22x against BLS from the start. I just can't be interested up here. So this is called the nosebleed section. It doesn't mean it can't go higher. I don't know where the top is going to be. I mean, I can try and look at the RSI on shorter time frames. I mean, there's no bearish divergences there to speak of. All I can say is the RSI is high, and watch the chart closely, because you might just get an entry in here, and that would be very healthy, because pullbacks can be very healthy. And this will set you up, reset your indicators, and set you up to head much higher in the future, right? So yeah, if you were interested in getting some here, if you're up a lot, maybe take some profits, rebuy it down here, especially if you're up on a double, right? There's nothing wrong with getting a free position in this coin. You can then get more when it comes back. Or you can maybe look for something else if you're interested, right? Nothing wrong with this chart. It's just a little bit high here. I would love for it to come down a little bit so I can get an entry. And that will rinse some of the buyers and set up the new guys with that hasn't gotten in yet with a nice entry. This is trading literally at 1-to-1 with PLS, almost at 1-to-1 to PLS. Thanks for the super chat, bro. Guys, this has been an hour. I'm not through half of the chat. I haven't even looked at the Twitter comments yet. We looked at incentive token. Lots of PZen guys. I'm always impressed with their presence. Do check out Granny and Kek. Granny is still incredibly cheap versus PLS. This is a nice little rounding bottom. Recently popped off its lows. This is where value is at in the shorter term time frame, but we're still well within the overall reload zone. It's taken a lot of punishment. This will probably, I mean, this is getting to the end of its bottoming phase. It is in its accumulation phase. You can see it's starting to trend higher here, which is good to see, right? Many people have written off Granny, but I'm still going to continue talking about this, still going to continue charting it, and I believe it's going to do pretty darn well. There is 23k liquidity, and this is a 71k market cap coin, guys. That is, look at that. I hope you guys can see that. There we go. 71k market cap. This is incredibly cheap. And such thick liquidity for such a low market cap coin. I've actually just noticed that. I'm quite impressed with that. Right, we're still up versus PLS. Still up 11x, right? There's and we're still down from the all-time highs. 89%, 90% from the all-time highs. So this absolutely screams value to me. The only negative thing is that we had kind of a V bottom here, but it ran up and then it formed its little W here. So yeah, this looks good. Kek as well. Recently ran quite hard. It made new all-time highs versus USD. Let's look at it on the daily. Recently had a really good run up. So what am I looking at? I'm looking at the market cap, excuse me. Let's look at it versus wrapped balls. Okay, still in the overall reload zone, because this is your overall reload zone here. Right? You can see that. So we're still in there. And then on the shorter time frame, let's just remove the macro one so it's a little bit more simplified. And on the shorter term time frame, I'm looking for this area to go long. This gives you nice W's on the chart, right? Sorry about that. W there, a W there, more. Okay, funny lines on the chart. Either way, this is the definition of an uptrend. You've got your higher lows here on the chart, and you've got your higher highs. This is the definition of a uptrend. So yeah, looks a lot like the fractal that we had back here before it rallied significantly from its lows, a 48x. From these lows, if we were to get a 48x, damn. We would expect diminishing returns, right? But let's just, for fun's sake, look at what a 48x on your PLS position would look like. Something like that. If we were to do the exact same fractal previously. I don't know why it would not do that. This is a 300k market cap, so with a 37k liquidity, which is much more than 10%, or a little bit more than 10%, which is good. Okay. I feel like EX is about to take off. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I haven't done EHEX today. But this has been more than an hour already. I like to keep these lower or shorter than an hour. Unfortunately, we've gone a little bit... Granny has a flat bottom. That is really quite funny. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the super chats. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for listening to me. I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers for now. And remember, play from a position of strength. Please don't get wrecked. There's still a massive bull run in front of us. Sorry I caught the end. No problem, Paul.